Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi wahdah. Wa salatu wa salamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dah. Amma ba'd. قال الله تعالى فهل عسيتم إن توليتم أن تفسدوا في الأرض وتقطعوا أرحامكم صدق الله العظيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا. Respected elders, dear brothers, and any sisters listening as well, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us life. He gives us, He grants us, He blesses us with countless blessings of His. And amongst these blessings is that we find ourselves in this blessed month of Ramadan. We're able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where we're able to recognize Him as our Creator, the one that is worthy of worship, the one that we bow down in prostration in front of, the one that we fast because of or for, and that we just pray Salatul Asr for, yes? Alhamdulillah. Because there are many unfortunate that are not given the ability to fast, that do not have the opportunity to pray. So when we see people like this, it gives us an understanding that it's only the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have been able to perform salah, that we're able to do any good deeds. It is not our own doing. It's not our own doing, yes? So because of this, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more we thank Him, the more He will grant to us, inshaAllah. And more importantly, the more we will build the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to be His thankful servants, because this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. Allah loves a servant who is thankful, who thanks Him, who understands, who recognizes that Allah is the one who gave me everything. Things that we know of, and also things that we don't even know about. Yes? How many blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there are that we don't even know of. We can't even assume, we don't even know of these blessings that are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, things that He's doing for us without us even knowing. But we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. Now amongst these great blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants to us is the blessing of having a family, having parents, having children, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, grandparents. All this is the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter how our family members may be, with all of their faults, yes, with all of their defects, with all the troubles they bring to us, no problem, because they are a blessing. They are a blessing. We have to recognize this. Sometimes we focus on certain negatives. We think of all the problems they bring to us in our lives, and it makes us think that we would have been better off without them. But let me tell you, you would not have been better off without them. Ask those people who lose their loved ones, then how much regret they feel. Ask. We see in the world today where one bomb, and unfortunately you have a child that's become orphan, you have a parent that's become, lost the beloved child, you have a spouse that's lost their partner, you have family members being lost like this. And they value and they show us, isn't it? They show us, we see clips, we see videos of how much they're crying for their family members. Let's value the family members that we have. And let's try to make our relationship, our family unit, our family bond, let's make it better. Quite a little while ago now, I came and over here, alhamdulillah, in this masjid, and we had the opportunity to talk about how practically to maintain family ties. I thought today we'll do a part 2. I know maybe many people won't remember part 1, but because I've already done part 1 here, inshallah there's a recording for it. People can listen to it, or maybe can work with their way through it. But inshallah today we'll try to shed some light on what to do, the problems that arise as an individual, on an individual basis, in a societal basis as well, the problems that occur when we do not maintain family ties. Firstly, we have understood already, I shed some light on this previously, but just to jog memories, or maybe for those brothers and those sisters that weren't here, that weren't listening, or didn't hear that particular discussion that we had, we understood that maintaining family ties is wajib. What is it? Wajib. It's not an option. It's not like, okay, you get on with this person, so you're okay with that person. The other one you don't get on with, don't talk to them. Say, yeah, you know what, forget them, you know what, we just keep aside. Keep our distance from them. That's not an option. Yeah, we have to get that in our head. It's not an option. It's not a choice. It's wajib. Meaning it's a duty of ours to maintain family ties. That's our duty. We have to do it. We ain't got a choice. What does wajib mean? It's compulsory, right? So you have to do it. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to do it. So inshallah, let's try to work out today, in this short time, how are we going to do it? Especially with those family members who don't get on with, who we've maybe broken ties with, unfortunately. Or maybe they broke ties with us. Yes? So inshallah, today we'll shed some light on this. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, in this passage, Allah Ta'ala says, before this, He is talking in regards to, as generally Allah does in the Quran, He is in essence telling the humans, telling us that we must abide by His commands. Yes? We have to abide by the commands of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, shown to us by the way of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yes? And this is what we have to do. We have to follow the commandments of Allah through the sunnah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then Allah Ta'ala, He then says that, what do you think? فَهَلْ عَسَيْتُمْ? What do you think? That if you turn away from my commands, and if you turn away from the practice of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what do you think? Do you think that you'll just be left alone? You'll just be staying like this? فَهَلْ عَسَيْتُمْ? What do you think? إِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ? If you turn away from what? Turn away from my command, turn away from the practice of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. What will happen? أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. What will happen? You will cause corruption in the earth. You will cause corruption in the earth. So the corruption that will happen is because of turning away from the way of Allah, the commands of Allah, the way of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yes? And what will happen as a result of corruption in the earth? Allah says, وَتُقَطِّعُوا أَرْحَامَكُمْ. What will happen? You will break family ties. You will break family ties. Now, where is the connection of corruption and breaking family ties? We thought, okay, breaking family ties, that's like just a humane thing, isn't it? It's a social thing. We don't get on with them, no problem. How's that anything to do with our worship? Of course it has everything to do with worship. Because Allah Ta'ala is the one who is telling us to maintain these family ties. Isn't it? Isn't Allah the one that's telling us to maintain the family ties? It is Allah that's telling us to maintain family ties. Look, let's understand this. The closest family tie we have is with who? With our parents, right? The closest family tie is with our parents, undoubted. Now with this, when in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala instructs us in various places to maintain ties with our parents, yes? How do we maintain ties with our parents? What kind of a tie should it be? The closest bond, isn't it? The closest bond is with your parents. And in amongst the parents, mother, it comes number one, yes? So parents is the closest bond that we have. Now, what's the worst thing that a person can do when it's in relation to Allah? In relation to Allah, the worst thing that a person can do is shirk. Yes? Associating partners with Allah, because Allah says about this in the Quran. There's nothing worse than that, yes? Now, when it comes to parents, your parents, if, alhamdulillah, your parents aren't, but if a person's parents are committing shirk, a what? committing shirk, the worst violation against Allah. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling this person that وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي, if they quarrel with you, your parents are quarreling with you, that you associate partners with me, telling you that no, associate partners, come back to the religion, whatever else that there was before, yes? فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا, that don't obey them, meaning don't comply with them. Yeah. But still Allah is saying, وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا, that you still maintain a good relationship with them in this world. That's your duty. Now look, Allah could have, yes, Allah is a creator, yes or no? Allah could have said to us that you are a believer on me in it, you believe me in it. You're a mu'min, you believe in me. This parent of yours, I don't care if they're your parent, but they are violating my rights. They're doing shirk with me. Yes? They're doing the worst thing possible that they could do against me. So I do not want you to maintain ties with this person. I don't care if they're your parent. Break ties with them. Allah could have said that, so no? And Allah would have been in every right to do that, yes or no? Yes? Asma bint Abi Bakr radiyallahu anha. She, in the time, she mentions that is his early Islam, Meccan period, when her mother comes to visit her. And at this time, her mother is a mushrika. She is somebody who associates partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She's a polytheist. So she says that, let me ask Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam how to treat her. So she comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, she asks, oh Rasulullah, my mother, she is a polytheist. She is violating against Allah. Her connection with Allah is not good. So how should my connection with her be? Should I maintain ties with her? Genuine question, right? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, yes, you still maintain ties with her. You still have to maintain ties with her. You still be dutiful to her. You still be good to her. This is what Rasulullah ﷺ is telling us. This is what the Quran is telling us. وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. Yes? So what's the instruction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To maintain good ties with who? With our parents, even if our family members, right? Even if they are doing shirk with me. Meaning Allah is telling us, what's He telling us? That your parent is doing shirk with me, yes? That's between me and your parent. That's between me and them. That's nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Me and them, yes, they've got a problem with me. They're doing shirk. I will sort them out because of that. But you still maintain good ties with them. This is how Allah is telling us. You still maintain good ties with them. Yes? That's nothing at all to do with you. Look at what we do. What do we do? Yeah? Somebody we broke ties with. And why do we break ties with this family member of ours? Over the most trivial of things. Trivial of things. Oh, there was a rishta, there was a proposal that happened, your daughter, your son, is going to get married and you've said yes to them. And you didn't tell us first, you didn't tell me. I didn't find out first, that person found out before me. That's it, I don't want to know you anymore. Don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah, you've let me know what kind of place I hold in your life. Yes, this was happening, innit? Oh, we have a dawat, we have an invitation of food. Yes, we call people around to eat. It's a small do. Yeah, and then what happens? This person finds out. So you call people around. There was a dawat and you didn't call me. That's it. I'm not going to talk to them anymore. What? Over there? Oh, you invited this person. You invited me too, but you should have invited me first. I should have been the first person to be invited. Over these small little things, we're breaking up. Yes, or maybe you will break up over what? You feel wronged by a family member, by your brother or by your sister. You feel wronged. Yeah, you feel that they've taken your right. They've taken your right. And we break up because of that. Yes, we feel disrespected. They didn't respect us. They showed us up. Yes? And we break ties because of that. Because of worldly things, we're breaking ties with our family members. Is this what our deen teaches us? Is this what Islam teaches us? What is Allah telling us here? Look, it was every right of Allah Ta'ala to tell us to break ties with this person. Yes or no? But what does Allah Ta'ala do? He tells us that this is your parent. Doesn't matter if they're breaking ties with me, you maintain ties with them. What do we do today? We break ties over the smallest of things. And then on top of that, we want every person in our family to break ties with them too. Isn't it? Yeah, I've got a problem with them. Yeah, I've got a problem with them, but I will also tell everybody in my family, that's it. Everybody, you all people, you all have problem with them too. You do not have ties with this person. Don't say salam to them. Don't go around to their house. Don't accept any gift from them. Don't accept any invitation. I don't want you to be even talking to them. Yeah, I don't want you to even talk to their children. Yeah, that's it. So your children, your innocent children, our innocent children, we poison them with our filth that we have in our minds, in our brains, and we poison them. Our innocent children, oh, you're playing with them, we don't play with them. Yeah, we don't play with them. Why though? They're my cousin. They're my friend. That's what they're thinking. Yes, maybe the brave ones will even say it. No, we don't talk to them. We don't talk to them because we got a problem. 20 years ago, we had a problem with their parent, and still till today, we're holding that grudge. This is how we are, isn't it? But look at Allah Ta'ala is telling us what? Allah is telling us, you maintain ties with them. And we are doing the total opposite. We're telling everyone, break ties with them. And if we find out that our family member, our husband, our wife, whoever it is, has gone to maybe go to their house, has gone to their house, or maybe said salam to them, or maybe had a conversation with them, or maybe happened to find themselves coincidentally in the same gathering as them. Oh, you were in the same gathering as them. How dare you? You know I don't talk to that person. That's it, I'm not going to talk to you too. That's it, innit? Yeah, we don't even speak to our spouse now. Yeah, why? Because they did salam with that person that we are enemies with. Yeah, that's it now. That's it. You are also downtrodden. You are now, forget you as well. I'm not going to talk to you as well. That's how we are. Look at us. Look at the way that Allah is teaching us. What is Allah teaching us? Through His own practice. And look at the way we are, the total opposite. It's completely wrong, isn't it? What's happening in society, yes? This is what's happening in our societies. And Allah Ta'ala is telling us this in this verse, because Allah is telling us what? أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, that you will cause corruption in the earth. Then you see the corruption. The Mufassirun mention that this corruption Allah is talking about is the corruption of the time of Jahiliyyah, the time of ignorance, the time before Islam. We hear of this, don't we? We know of the people, how they were before the times of Islam. In the time of ignorance, how are these people? They were the worst of people. Yes, we even say that nobody wanted to rule over them. Yes, they were so bad that they would bury their own daughters alive. Alive. Can you imagine? Can anyone of us sitting here, can you bury your own child alive? It's hard burying your own passed away child. How are you going to bury your own child alive? None of us can do that. Yes or no? But that's how these people were. Can you imagine how these people were? And Allah is telling us that you people, you will return to that state. You will go back to that state where there will be corruption in the earth as there was before. Why? Because what guided humanity? What made these very people who were this bad, what made them the best of people? Because they did become the best of people, yes or no? The best of people is who? The Sahaba radiallahu anhum amongst the Ummah. They became the best of people. What made them the best of people? It's the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They lived by the command of Allah, the way shown by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yes or no? And as soon as they did that, what happened? A complete change. A complete U-turn. They became the best of people from the worst of people. Yes or no? Now, if we turn away from that command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then we will return back to the Jahiliyyah. Yes or no? And that's how these people were. They would have one person, you would go with your camel to the place where they're watering the camels, they're giving water to their camels, and this person you considered to be lower than you in society. And this person, they gave their camel water before your camel drank water. What would have happened? Fight. Yeah, and this fight wouldn't just be a small fight. This would be a dispute that would continue in generations and generations. They would then instruct their children, this person's our enemy. Yeah, they're our enemy. Why are they enemy? We don't know. But they're our enemy. And they would carry on bequesting one generation to the next generation, telling them that these people we don't get on with, they're our enemies. The whole clan is our enemies. The whole clan became enemy, right? Over what? Because we gave water to this person before them. And that's what's happening today, no? Isn't that the same thing that's happening today? The water maybe not be happening, but you see in it, an invitation was sent to this person before me. This is Jahiliyyah. This is exactly, bi'aynihi, exactly what Jahiliyyah is. And Allah Ta'ala is telling us that this is what's going to happen to you people. Yes? And you're going to break family ties. Can you see the connection now? Can you see? Because you're going to break family ties by going back to this Jahiliyyah time. It is Islam that guides us. That guides us of how to look after our family. Yes? What is, today in society, the society fights for what? Fights for women's rights. Yes? And rightly so, no problem. Especially if the women are being oppressed, no problem. We're all for it, yes? Society fights for what? Animal rights. Yes or no? Animals' rights, animal rights, animal rights. Where did you hear the call parents' rights? Where's the right gone? What happened? When it came to parents, no problem. Just stick them into a care home, it's fine. Yeah, we'll get a care worker to come and care for them and look after them. Yes? That's what happens with parents' rights. This is society. This is Jahiliyyah. You're fighting for a dog's rights, but your parents have no rights like the dog has. This is, I'm afraid to say, yes or no? The dog has more rights than your parents. A'udhu billah. Is this what our society is coming to? What teaches us humanity? What teaches us humanity? Islam. Islam is teaching us, know your parents. Your parents you have to care for. You have to make sure that they're taken care of. Yes or no? And this corruption is spreading. Why? Because we are not maintaining family ties. We're not maintaining family ties the way Islam is teaching us to. Yes? I went to give you a story. I went to where I visit I'm at a certain masjid. I'm praying salah, and there is a elderly uncle. He knows me because his son is my friend. So after salah, the uncle comes to me and says, "Beta, I have some forms to fill out. That when you get the chance, can you please come round to my house to fill out the forms?" With him, what's happened is his children have all now moved out. They got married, they've all moved out. His son, typical, they wanted a separate house and they couldn't afford a house in London, so they've now moved out of London. Typical, yes, everyone, similar story, yes or no? They've moved out of London now, he's married, he's got his own children, he's living his own house outside of London. They're still living, the uncle and auntie is still living in London, they've got their house, so they're still living there. Typical case. So like this, the uncle, he knows me, so he asked me for this little bit of help. I said, "No problem, uncle, I'll come when I've got the time." So when I get a bit free, I go to the uncle's house, I knock on the house. I knock on the house, the uncle opens the house, and he opens the door, and he's wearing a coat. So I think he's going out. So I said, "Oh, uncle, are you going out?" "No problem, I'll come back later." So he says, No. He insists. He said, come in. So I go inside, sit in the front room, and in a little while later, auntie comes from the back, and she asks, "Beta, you're gonna have some tea?" She's old. I'm not gonna tell her to make tea for me or anything. I said, No, auntie, come sit down. No, don't do anything. She still goes to the back. She gets some juice. She gets some nuts and things. She puts it on her tray. She comes as usual. She comes and she places it next to me on the sofa, on the seat. So while she's putting it there, I look down and I notice that she's wearing really thick socks. Like you wouldn't wear them kind of thick socks at home. She's wearing really thick socks. And then I look up and I notice that she's wearing a really thick cardigan. Really thick jumper cardigan. She's wearing this. And by that time I had been sitting in the house for long enough to realize that it's actually quite cold in this house. Cold enough that when I breathe, I can see the vapors. I can see the steam. I can see that cold. That's how cold it is in the house. And then I remembered that noticed that the uncle was wearing a coat when he opened the door, wasn't it? So he wasn't going out. He was wearing a coat in his own house. That's how cold it was. So I asked uncle, I felt sorry for him. I asked uncle, "You're feeling cold?" He said, "Yeah, beta, it's cold, isn't it? It was winter. It's cold." Yeah. So I said, "Uncle, turn the heating on." "Yeah, turn the radiator on. Why are you sitting in the cold?" So he said, "Beta, the radiator, it comes on its own time. It's timed, it comes on in its own time." So I understood what he was saying. He's saying that I can't afford to turn the heating on all day. They come on certain time only. Can you imagine? They're living in this state. I felt really sorry for them. They're living in their own home, in their own house. They're living how? With coats on, with jackets on, with jumpers on, with these big thick socks on. But who's going to know? Who's going to know? How are you going to find out? So as soon as I finished what I had to do there, I went into my car. I straight away phoned my friend. I phoned his son. I said, I just visited your parents' house. Oh, he said, oh, how are they? Are they okay? I said, no, they're not okay. He said, well, what's up? I told him that they're living like this. They're living in the cold. They're sitting in their own house. He said, oh, I phone my mum every day. I phone my mum every day. She didn't tell me this. I said, your mum's not going to tell you that. Your mum's not going to tell you that they can't afford to turn the heating on. Yes? How are they going to tell you that? That they can't afford to turn the bill, they can't afford to pay the bills. Are they going to tell you? They know you have got your own house to run. They know that. They will go through sacrifice because of you. Yeah, it's our duty. What's our duty? Our duty to go to our parents' house, not just to call them. Our duty to go and see them, to see the state they're living in. After you're visiting them day one, 3 days later you visit them and your father, your mother is still wearing the same clothes. You ask them that, oh, Amma, Abba, you're still wearing the same clothes. Is the washing machine broken or something? How come you're still wearing the same clothes? Ask them. It's our duty. These are things that we should know. Go home, go to their house, check the fridge, open the fridge, go and see if there's milk there, is there eggs there, is there bread there. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you we can't afford a bread, we can't afford the milk. Or we're saving rations of, we're having rations of the milk. We're saving them, yes, so that we can go and until next week when we will get the token to be able to afford the milk. They're not going to tell you this. It's our duty. Who teaches us this? What teaches us this? Islam teaches us this. Yes or no? Islam teaches us this. This is humanity. This is what Islam is teaching us. This is what Allah Ta'ala is telling us in the Quran here. That if you turn away from the way of Allah, from the way shown to you by Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there will be corruption. Corruption, and you will break ties. Can you see? Breaking ties happening now, yes? This is what's happening in our societies. We will break up over what? A little bit of money that somebody took from us. It's a bit of money. It comes and goes. Today they took it off you. Tomorrow they won't have it as well. Why are you breaking up? Yes, you feel upset. I understand, we're human beings. We're all human beings. Somebody mistreats us. Somebody disrespects us. Somebody takes our haqq, our right. We feel hurt by it. Yeah, we do feel hurt by it. We're human beings. We understand that. But how long? For how long are you going to feel hurt? For years? Are you going to carry a grudge for years? Is this what Islam teaches us? No. How long can you be upset for? You're upset for one day. You're upset for that day. Tomorrow you go sleep. Tomorrow you wake up. It's a new day. Forgive the person. It's fine. No problem. Allow them. Why? Because they're your family member. They are your brother. They are your sister. The union, that brotherhood matters more. It comes above money. It comes above a little bit of respect. That you lost out. No problem. Allah is the one who gives. Isn't Allah the one who gives? If you, for the sake of Allah, forgive your brother, forgive your sister, will Allah not be able to give you in replacement? Will Allah not give you? You did it for the sake of Allah. Allah, for your sake I'm doing this. Allah will say, my servant did it for my sake. I will give you double. I will give you much more. You did it for me. I will do much more for you. Yes or no? We carry these grudges. Islam only allows us a maximum. We understand that you are hurt. Islam is saying, no problem. But لا يحل لمسلم أن يهجر أخاه فوق ثلاث. It's not permissible for us to abandon our brother or our sister for more than 3 days. You're upset. Your upset is valid for 3 days. That's it. No more than that. No more than that. Beyond that, if you're still carrying this rancor in your heart, this hatred in your heart for a Muslim brother or sister, how can you do that? This is just generally for a Muslim brother or sister. Imagine this person is your family member. This is your family member. Sharia puts so much emphasis and stress on making sure that we don't break ties with our family members. So much stress. A hadith by Aisha radiallahu anha. She mentions, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned that ar-rahim mu'allaqatun bil-arsh. That this rahim is this family ties that we have, womb ties, relation we have. This is clinging onto the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you imagine? Now, rahim, we know, rahim is not something which is a living being, is it? Is it a person? How come Sharia here, in the hadith here, we have personified, we have made rahim as though it is living? Yes or no? Why? To give it importance. To give it importance that, look, it's as good as it's living, it's a living being. Don't break this. Rahim is clinging onto the arsh of Allah. When somebody is clinging onto the arsh of Allah, do you think the dua of this one will be rejected? Imagine in dunya today, yes? The king is sitting on his throne. Somebody comes and he holds on to the throne and says, please, king. King will say, oh, holding on to my throne, I have to fulfill this wish. Yes or no? This is the King of Kings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Rahim is saying, dua. What's the dua? That, oh Allah, join the one that joins me and break the one that breaks me. Can we then be successful in dunya or in the akhirah? More importantly, how can we think, even dream of being successful? The hadith mentions, dangerous hadith. The hadith warns and it mentions, لا يدخل الجنة قاطئ رحم. That the person who breaks ties will not enter Jannah. This person will not enter Jannah. How can we have this in the dua mentioned in the Quran of the believers? They're the dua which believers make. رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Ghil is this rancor that we hold in the heart towards another believer, let alone a family member. We should make this dua. Make this dua that, oh Allah, I have this hatred, I have this enmity, I have this rancor, this ill feeling towards this family member of mine. Oh Allah, clean my heart from this. And inshallah, Allah will soften our hearts. Who is the one that is creating this enmity? Shaitan, yes or no? Shaitan is the one that's pinning us, is telling us that, look, you got insulted. Look, your right got taken. Look, they took money from you. Look, they didn't give you this. They didn't give you that. Look, they did this. Shaitan is going to tell us. Right now in this blessed month of Ramadan, Shaitan is not there, yes? He's not there to tell us that. Yes? The only other thing there is the nafs. But the nafs is being subdued because of us fasting, inshallah, yes? So now is the time. This Ramadan is the time when we can mend these family ties. We can mend these family ties that are broken. If we don't do it now, then you will not get an opportunity another time. Because when the shaitan is not there, when our nafs is weak, the enemies are weak, now is the time to overpower our ego. Because let me tell you, it is only our ego that will prevent us from mending these ties. It's our ego. It doesn't matter if you are older. It doesn't matter if you were on the right. You were on the haqq. You were the one that was wronged. Rasulullah ﷺ mentions in the hadith that the better of the two people is who? That when they meet each other, they're shunning each other, they're not doing salam to each other. Yes? The better of the two people is the one that initiates salam. Be the one that initiates salam. Yes, you may initiate salam with this person of yours that you haven't talked to for such a long time. Maybe they don't get on with you. They will blank you first time. Yes? They'll ignore you. Yes? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, I say. Our duty is to join those ties. However we can, we join those ties. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yes? Don't just do first thing and then give up afterwards. Yeah, or I try to do salam to them. I fulfilled my duty, isn't it? No, you haven't fulfilled your duty. You haven't fulfilled your duty. Rasulullah says in the hadith, he says, لَيْسَ الْوَاصِلُ بِالْمُكَافِ. Wasil, wasala means to join. Join, what do you join? You join something which is broken. Yes or no? When something is broken, you have to come and mend it now. You have to put glue there, you have to join it. However you join it, where there's a will, there's a way you can fix it. Yes or no? You can fix it. And you fix it. It's your duty to fix it. It's our duty. This is what we have to do. Rasulullah says in countless ahadith, Rasulullah instructs us. He tells us that join ties. Yeah, he tells us, a'ti man haramak, sil man qata'ak. Join ties with the one that breaks ties with you. Look, Allah Rasulullah is saying is what? The one who breaks ties with you, you join ties with them. You're joining it. Not just saying, Prophet doesn't say, oh, just give salam to them. No. You have to join ties with them. If that means that you have to go to them and say sorry, beg them for forgiveness, even if you were on the right, it doesn't matter, do it. Because that is better to do that in this world than to suffer in the hereafter. Yes or no? Let's do this time. Let's put our ego down to the floor. Put it into the dust and say, no, ego, you're not going to get the better of me today. I'm going to overpower you. I'm going to be the brave one, and I'm going to fulfill the command of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What do we do? Sil man qata'ak. Join ties with the one who breaks ties with you. Wa'ati man haramak. And give to the one who deprived you. They deprived you of a right in it. Doesn't matter, you give to them. They didn't give you, you give gifts to them. No problem. They will feel embarrassed that we took rights from them and this person's giving gifts to us. You give, doesn't matter. Even if you think that they will take your gift and chuck it in a bin, doesn't matter. You give. Your job is to maintain ties. You try your best. You do what you can do. Wa'ati man haramak. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying. In another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions, وَأَحْسِنْ إِلَى مَنْ أَسَاءَ إِلَيْكَ. And do good to the one that's bad to you. In the other hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions that when a person is oppressing you, don't worry, you carry on doing good to them. You do good to the one that's oppressing you. Can you imagine? This is the instruction of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why would he tell us this? Why? Because it's something not doable. Is it something which a person can't do you think? He's telling us something unrealistic. Absolutely not. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us because he knows that we can do it and it's better for us to do it. There are so many benefits. So many benefits. We don't have time to go into all the benefits. Just to shed some light on some beautiful benefits that are there. Yes? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in the hadith, "Man sarrahu an yubsata lahu fi rizqihi wa yunsa'a lahu fi atharihi falyasil rahimah." That whoever wants that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them abundant, more sustenance, more rizq. Who doesn't want that? Tell me somebody who doesn't want that. Who wants more money? Everyone in it? If I say who wants more money, everyone's going to put their hands up, yes? Everyone wants more money, no? Who doesn't want more rizq, more sustenance? You want, everybody wants, yes? Rasulullah is telling us, do you want to have more sustenance? Do you want that your life is prolonged, you get long life, mashallah? Now who doesn't want to live for long, mashallah? Everyone wants this, yes? Then what does Prophet tell us? The simple ingredient for this is what? Join ties. Join your family ties then. فَلْيَصِلْ رَحِمًا. Do it then. That's what we have to do. You know, when I read this, I was a student. When I first came across this hadith in Dars, the teacher was giving the lesson and we read this hadith, mashallah. So when I read this, I saw this as just a benefit. Just like, mashallah, the brothers and sisters that are listening would consider this to be two rewards that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving here. Upon what? Maintaining family ties. So I saw it like this. Until a few years ago, when I came across a study. Everyone knows Harvard University, yes? Famous university of the world, yes? Harvard University have conducted a study, a research. What research? The longest research in history so far, yes? An 85-year study. 85-year study. To what? To collect data and to understand human behavior, there are certain patterns in relation to how human behavior changes in different circumstances. So they concluded, in one of their experiments, they concluded that because they wanted to know who are the happiest people in life. Is it the people who have the most money, the richest people of the world? Is it the people who have the biggest houses, the biggest businesses, they're CEOs of companies, they have the most companies under them? Is it the people who have the most respect in society? The people who are famous, the most famous people, are they the happiest people? What makes people happy? They concluded that the happiest people in life are the ones with the strongest family relations. Do you believe? The happiest people of life, the ones who have the best family relationships, the strongest relationships. That's why you will see in a third world country where there is a family living in one small hut, where it rains, the rain even comes through their roof. That's the state they're living in, yes? But they're living in a happy life, yes or no? Why? Even though they have not much facilities of the world, but they're living a very happy life because they are all, their family relation is so good. They're so tight, as we call it. They're so good with each other. Yes? They're the happiest in life. Let me tell you, a person today thinks that this person insulted me, that's it, I'm going to break ties with them, isn't it? We break ties with somebody. Why? Because they insult us or they did something wrong to us. So we think that we are punishing them by breaking ties with them, isn't it? That's what we're doing, aren't we? That's it. We're going to think that, oh, we're so special, mashallah, that, yeah, you know what, if I break ties with you, then you will feel my loss. Yeah? That's what we do, aren't we? We're breaking ties with that person because we think we're going to punish this person. I'm going to break ties with them. I'm not going to talk to them now. Right? Let me tell you, it's not this person you're breaking ties with and you're punishing. You're punishing yourself. Who's living the miserable life? Who's the one that's leading to depression to them now, yes? Who's leading to that depression? Who's feeling lonely now? Because you have isolated yourself and your family to yourselves now, because we don't go to these functions, because they're going to be there. That person of our family member is going to be there in that family do, so we don't go to these functions. Who's isolated themselves now? Who's living that life of loneliness, life of leading to depression, to a mental state of instability? Who's leading to that now? So who's living in that misery? You have led yourself to misery. You're punishing yourself. This is what we need to understand. This is why Islam is laying so much emphasis on making sure our family ties are strong. Join family ties, not break family ties. This is not what Islam is teaching us. Our mentality should be, what should our mentality be? This is everything. This is something that all of us listening can do right now. Yes? All of us can do this right now. And my mentality should be that my family ties comes above this small little other things that are getting in the way of our families. Yes? If it's money, if it's reputation, if it's whatever it is. Yes? My family ties comes above that. And it is. Islam is teaching us it comes above that. Yes or no? And I've told you this. From the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that you maintain family ties with your parents. Because for you, the most important thing is your parents. So you maintain ties with them. Let's look at the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. It creates inspiration for us, yes or no? Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Can anyone tell me here that your family members have tried killing you? Actually did it as well. Not just attempted, they actually did it. Because that's what they thought. Yusuf alayhi salam brothers, yes or no? They threw him into the well and they thought, that's a good riddance, he's dead now. He's going to die there. Yes or no? Nobody's going to find his body there. That's it. We've done it now. They shook their hands. They thought, that's it, we've done it. Good riddance. That's what they thought, yes or no? So they actually, in their brain, they murdered their own brother. Yes or no? Yusuf alayhi salam. They left him for dead. Then when the time came, the opportunity came, eventually, everyone knows the story. I'm cutting it short. Everyone knows the story, right? When the time came, when Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was able to take revenge. Yes or no? They came seeking for rations. When the time of famine, what does he do? Does he embarrass them? Oh, I'm Yusuf, you know. Yeah, you people, you tried killing me, attempted murder. I'm going to put you in, put them in prison. Guards, take him in, put him in prison. Attempted murder, they did it. Every last one of them. He could have, yes or no? He was in every right to do that, yes or no? Because they actually did. It was attempted murder. So he could have trialed them. He was in a position to trial them. And it would have been justice served. Yes or no? But what does he show us? What does his beautiful character show us? He didn't even embarrass them by telling them, I am Yusuf. He didn't even embarrass them. He let them work it out. And he let them work it out. They worked it out. You are Yusuf. It looks like you're Yusuf. He says, yes, Ana Yusuf, wa hadha akhi. Yeah, I'm Yusuf, and this is my brother, Binyamin. This is my brother. He didn't embarrass them. They initially came with what? They initially came to seek rations, and they came to even pay for it. They came to pay for it, because that's what people were paying for it. He took that payment and he put it back into their packet, into their bag. Yes? He didn't even take payment from them. Can you imagine what he did, how he looked after his parents, how he looked after his brothers? And then he gave them a standing. When they came, they cried in front of him. They begged him for forgiveness. What did he say? He said, "La tathriba alaykum al-yawm." Don't worry, it's not your fault. There's no blame on you today. No blame on you people today. Don't worry, it's fine. Yeah, la tathriba alaykum al-yawm. I know. He gave them an excuse. He says to them, so beautiful, look at his words. He says, I know you did this when you were ignorant. You did this because you didn't know. You didn't know, don't worry, it's fine, don't worry. In the same way as we now listening to this, you people now know what Shariat is telling us regards to our family members, yes or no? Our brothers, our sisters, the ones that we have broken ties with, the ones that we don't talk to anymore. We know what Shariat is telling us, yes or no? What our duty is. They, bichara, they don't know yet. Because they haven't heard this. They don't know. So we have to make an excuse for them, say, bichara, they don't know, they're ignorant. They're ignorant from this. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam is teaching us this. Eventually what happens? Eventually they recognize the virtue of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And they say to Yusuf alayhi salam, it looks like Allah has given you virtue over us. They eventually realize this. Yes or no? So don't worry. Everything will fall into place, inshaAllah. Everything will fall into place, because this is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. I'll end on this, inshaAllah. I know time is short, but we have a lot of things to talk about. So we'll end on this verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does He say? He says, وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. You know, the good that you're doing to your family member, that is not equal to the bad they're doing to you. Don't worry, it's not the same. It's not equal. Right? Allah recognizes the good you're doing. Allah will reward you for the good that you're doing. Don't worry about it. وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. What do you have to do? Your duty is idfa' billati hiya ahsan. The bad they're doing to you, you ward that off, you remove that. How? By doing better. Billati hiya ahsan. Do better. And what will happen? That person will stop doing the bad that they're doing to you. And there's psychology behind this as well, yes? The bad that the family member is doing towards us, the bad they're doing towards us, how do you prevent that bad by doing what? By doing bad. Yeah, you fight fire with fire. Yeah, our justification will be, but they said this, so we said this back. That's not how we do it. Yeah, I'm sure we all know of incidents where imagine somebody today, yes? Imagine there's a person who is really having a go at somebody, verbally abusing somebody. Yeah, and this person who's doing it is more powerful maybe as well. Yeah, and he's really abusing, saying so many things. Yes, this person is taking it. Eventually what happens? This person can't take it no more. And what do? The only thing they do is this. They look up at them and they do this. They give him a stare. They give him a dirty look. Like, I don't like what you're saying to me. Yeah, but immediately they look and then they can't look anymore and they look down again. That's all they did. They give him a dirty look. Yes? What will this person say? Straight away, what will this person say? Look. Did you see? Did you see? Look at the audacity. Look what they did. Did you see the dirty look they gave me? Yeah, they deserve every bit of what I said to them. This is why I was saying what I was saying to them. Isn't it? What were they looking for? They're looking for a justification. Isn't it? They found that one little justification. And you can even say, but they didn't do nothing in comparison to what you're doing. The abuse you're giving to them compared to their little dirty look they gave to you is nothing. But they'll say, no, look, they gave me a dirty look. Look, they have no respect in them. They will say everything and they will continue justifying all their misbehavior because of this one thing this person did. Because us human beings, yes, we are human beings. We can only be bad to somebody who we think in our brain is being bad to us. This person is bad to us. That's it, we can be bad to that person now. Does it make sense? We cannot behave bad to a person who is not bad towards us. Is always good to us. Is good and only good to us. How are we gonna live with ourselves? Except eat us up inside. That this person is so good to me and I'm being so bad to them. It's gonna eat us up when we're alone. We won't be able to sleep. We're gonna be tossing and turning, thinking that I'm oppressing this person so much. Eventually, what's gonna happen? We're gonna stop. You won't be able to be bad to this person anymore. You're gonna stop doing the bad. Do we understand? So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us here. Idfa' billati hiya ahsan. That ward off the bad that's being done to you by what? By the ahsan, by the better behavior. Behave good to them. Because your Islam should teach you. You are a mu'min, you are a believer, you believe in my promise, don't you? You believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes or no? Allah is telling us, be good. Be good. Idfa' billati ahsan. Why? فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ. Because what will happen? The enmity that is between you and that person, the enmity. We're talking about enmity here. Yeah, maybe inshallah we haven't got to that stage of enmity with our brother or sister, yes? But even if it has got to that stage, Allah is saying, فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ. What will happen? كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. As if this person will become your close friend. Not just your friend. Not just somebody that will be eye to eye now, yes? Yeah, will be like Ali saying dua salam. No, this person will become what? They will become your close friend. Waliyun hamim, Allah is saying here. This is the promise of Allah. Do we not understand the promise of Allah? We have to believe in this. We have to know that Allah will do it. But we're going to have to step up. Because Allah is saying, but you know this is not easy. Allah knows this is not easy. He says that only those people get وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا. That only those people who have what? Who have firm, resolution in them that they will be, I'm going to do it today. That's it. I've heard enough. I'm going to do it, inshallah. Only those people who have that in them, they're the ones who will be able to attain this. وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ. That only those people who have a great portion for them in hereafter. Allah is saying, they have a حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ, a great portion for them. These are the people that will be able to do it. So do we not want that promise from Allah? We want that from Allah, don't we? So we're going to have to now. We realize this, that this is our duty now. What is our duty? That we're going to mend ties. We're going to join ties with anyone that breaks ties with us. Anyone that's broken ties with us, let's join those ties. Let's try our best this Ramadan. Because remember, it's this Ramadan that we're going to be able to do it, inshallah. If we cannot crush our ego now, when do we think that we're going to be able to do it? Let us settle disputes. Any dispute we're having with somebody, let us find it in our hearts. Forgive them. Forgive them. Right? Even if we were on the right, even if we are the one that is older and we think that they should come to me. No, we go to them. We show them. And even if they turn their face away from us because they still feel upset, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let them vent. Let them vent. Let them say whatever it is they want to say to us. Take it. Take it. No problem. Just like a volcano that's erupting. Yes? A volcano that's erupting. Let it all spew out. Let it all come out. Let it all come out. Because one day what will happen? It will stop. Everything that's inside will come out because they're just venting. They're taking everything out. The hurt that they have for years, they're taking it out. Let them take it out. Doesn't matter. For the sake of Allah, forgive it all. And then what? Okay, let's start afresh. Let's start afresh. Let's wipe the slate clean. Me and you, we are brothers. Me and you, we are sisters. We are this, we are that. Whatever relationship you have, let's settle it. And remember, last thing, encouragement. Don't ever think that, oh, but we've spoiled the relationship so much that we can't make amends. We can't really put it back, better again. No, you can make it even better than it was. You can make it even better than it was. I don't have time now to elaborate, but just to give you a simple example of it, yes? We have this vase, yeah? A vase. Have you seen this Chinese vase? A ketsui vase, yes? So it's a vase which is broken, and after being broken, they join it back. And how do they join it? They mend it with gold. Molten gold. They put gold as the mending, they join molten, they put the pieces together with gold. So you see in the vase I'm talking about, right? So it has this vase, but it's broken, but it's got this. How does it look now? It looks stunning. It looks beautiful, isn't it? It looks even more better than it was when it was before in intact one piece, isn't it? So what the point is, where you make effort and you want something to look better than it was, you can do it. When your muscles rip, what happens? You become stronger. Your muscles go bigger. Yes or no? You become even more stronger. That's what where there's an effort, inshallah, you will see fruit for it. So in the same way, don't be discouraged and think and despondent that, oh, but my family ties have been broken for so long. How am I going to find a way? No. Where there is a will, there is a way. It's our duty. We find that way for us. We find whatever means possible to try to what? To try to make amends with this person, whoever it is. May Allah Ta'ala grant us the ability to really mend the ties of kinship, to understand the importance our Sharia lays down in our family ties. This is so important. Our Sharia tells us so much. Maintain family ties. Do not break family ties. This is so important. May Allah Ta'ala grant us the ability to understand the benefits of maintaining family ties, the importance of maintaining family ties. May Allah Ta'ala mend for us our family ties, create in us the courage, create in us the bravery, all the qualities required within us. May Allah Ta'ala create those qualities within us that we can mend any broken family ties. May Allah Ta'ala give us this and give us even more. May Allah Ta'ala bless us all and make us the means of inspiration for others as well. May Allah Ta'ala grant us all that we ask for and even more in abundance. We ask Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His infinite mercy upon us all, upon our family members, upon the Muslim Ummah. May Allah Ta'ala look after all of us. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Jazakumullah for listening.